It's a saying as old as time itself. If I had started playing tennis seriously when I was a young kid, I could have gone pro someday. It's a fun what if to fantasize about, to think how good we all could have gotten if our parents put rackets in our hands as babies and enrolled us into the finest academies possible. If you think that's truly what it takes, let me snap you back into reality to tell you a story about one teenager who defied those odds, who only took up tennis seriously a few years ago, and is now on trajectory to become one of the world's best tennis players. A story which shows how perseverance, hard work, and determination can make even the craziest dreams come true. Let me introduce to you, Jannik Sinner. If you've heard the name Jannik Sinner in the past year, you're not alone. This Italian teenager has been making waves throughout the world of professional tennis over the last 12 months, and many note how he truly seemed to have come out of nowhere to steal the spotlight from many of the currently established next-generation tennis stars. With an unassuming frame, young-looking appearance, and complete lack of any real junior results, this kid seemed to have randomly popped out of the woodwork one day on a mission to defeat every traditional professional in his path. But behind the illusion lies one of the most dedicated and hard-working players on the tour today, who made all the right decisions to take the world by storm and compete in one of the biggest end-of-the-year tournaments of 2019. Alright, Andrew, alright, enough jibber-jabber. Take us back already. The year is 2013, and the name Jannik Sinner is known of that of a budgeting champion. A skiing champion, that is. Born and raised in the South Tyrol province of northern Italy, an area located in the Alps whose landscape is dominated by snow-covered mountains, a skiing career is not unlike that of many past winter sports champions who hail from the area, whose inhabitants make up a large part of Italy's contingents at the Winter Olympics. The second best skier in Italy for his age group in 2012, Jannik also had a hobby: tennis. Playing twice a week at most, there were even years where he didn't even pick up a racket, claiming he occasionally switched between football and tennis. This all changed, however, in 2013, when Jannik decided he enjoyed tennis more than skiing, and made a surprising decision to dedicate more of his time to the tennis courts instead of the ski slopes. This decision paid off in short order, as he was soon discovered by world-renowned coach Riccardo Piatti, who had formerly worked closely with many top 10 ATP players including Novak Djokovic. Under the insistence that Jannik leave his old life behind to live and train at the Piatti Tennis Center many hours away, he ultimately made the tough decision to quit skiing for good and focus on a career in tennis, despite how relatively old he was at 13 to begin formal training. Now, while Jannik is training over there, it's important to note that for most players, a career in the pros is usually preceded by a lengthy junior career, where future success can be predicted by how well they compete against their peers in junior national tournaments and junior Grand Slams. This is not always the case, as was that for former tennis prodigy Donald Young, whose international success as a teenager didn't match his future abilities. Don't worry though, you'll all see. Anyway, in Jannik's case, he actually made the controversial decision to forego most junior tournaments, and focus most of his time preparing for and playing in low-level futures qualifying tournaments instead. For anybody unaware, there are generally two main levels of minor league tennis: Challenger Tour events and ITF Futures tournaments. For easy reference, Challenger Tour events are tournaments for those with decent rankings trying to make it into premier ATP tennis tournaments, while ITF Futures tournaments are typically for young players with very low or no professional ranking. Starting from the age of 14, Jannik played and lost in many adult futures tournaments, still without a ranking due to a lack of any main draw wins. While most players might either throw in the towel or revert back to junior tennis, Jannik persevered and trained even harder back at the academy. Looking back years later, Jannik now admits, "I think one reason I focus on the pros is because I'm here now at 18 years and I can play at the main draw of the US Open. I always was searching for players who played better than me. I was trying to play at a higher level than I actually was." Eventually, at 16 years old, Jannik Sinner recorded his first main draw win and achieved a world ranking of 1,583. It is here where his career officially begins, and here which sets into motion the 2-year timeline where Jannik Sinner went from a winless rookie to world champion. March 2018, ranked 1,583. Jannik is seen playing a practice match at a futures tournament in Greece against a former Division III college tennis player and looks completely unremarkable. Now wait, he plays well for a 16-year-old and at this point could likely play on a mid-level Division I team, but as a professional, forget it. Jannik struggles to prove he has weapons capable of the level of tennis he aspires to be at. There's a certain level of talent there, but most likely way below the level of many top juniors of his age at the time. November 2018, ranked 762. Fast forward 8 months and who the heck is this? It's clearly Jannik, but his game is much improved and far more aggressive. In addition to developing weapons in both his serve and return, he is seen attacking the ball much earlier in rallies and taking control of most points. His opponent is no longer a nobody, but former top 50 player Ilya Marchenko, who narrowly beats Jannik in 3 sets. In addition to his overall skills, Jannik's tournament results have made great headway, as positive futures results have propelled him into Challenger Tour event territory. February 2019, ranked 546. Into the new year, and 17-year-old Jannik Sinner is almost unrecognizable from 1 year earlier. Playing in his first ever Challenger Tour event final, he truly looks like he belongs, with punishing ground strokes allowing him to gain the upper hand in virtually every point played. Having beaten 6 players ranked 300 to 400 ranking spots ahead of him to win his first ever Challenger title, Jannik's growth within the sport was skyrocketing faster than his ranking could keep up with. May 2019, ranked 263. As the buzz surrounding the young Italian grew, Sinner's results helped find himself as a practice partner for the likes of Novak Djokovic and gain praise from Roger Federer.
I think we'll see so much more from him, and he's an exciting guy and super sweet kid.
Having been given a rare wild card to the Masters 1000 Rome tournament due to his recent success and Italianness, Sinner shocked the home crowd when he upset 59th ranked Steve Johnson in the first round to achieve by far his biggest win to date. Although defeated handily by top 10 Stefanos Tsitsipas in the following match, Jannik's presence on the main stage of elite tournaments was beginning to rise, with the confidence in his own game fooling everyone watching into thinking this teenager must have been a child prodigy. August 2019, ranked 137. If you were to ask Jannik Sinner a year prior where he would be the following August, no amount of self-confidence would have amounted to him guessing the US Open Championships in New York City. Yet there he was, not just playing, but winning. And after 3 matches, Jannik Sinner qualified for his first ever Grand Slam tournament, the ultimate dream come true for all aspiring junior tennis players. On one of the biggest stages in the world, Stan Wawrinka beat Sinner in a closely contested 4-set match, with Wawrinka eventually continuing on to the quarterfinals. The greater tennis world was now formally being introduced to the rising Italian star, but no one could have guessed just how big his career would become just 3 months later. The next Generation ATP Finals were underway in November 2019, a high-profile and exclusive tournament designed to showcase the future stars of tennis, with the best players 21 years of age and under competing in Milan, Italy for the prize of $250,000 and the title of Next Generation Star, 7 players and 1 wildcard. All players competing had been known in the tennis scene for years, having topped the junior rankings and cruised to the top 100 in ATP rankings in short time. That is, all but 1 player. Jannik Sinner was officially granted the lucky wildcard spot to be allowed to test his luck with the established next generation tennis scene.
Không. Ra bóng và tấn công rất chớp nhoáng.
Bài sập rất khó chịu của
thêm một điểm số nữa dành cho Sinner. Nhưng anh vẫn đang vững vàng với những cú đánh tấn công của mình.
bóng không đi qua lưới và đó là chức vô địch dành cho Jannik Sinner.
And here, 20 months after that awkward kid played that practice match at some low-level futures event, Jannik Sinner was crowned the best 21 years of age and under tennis player in the world. An ironic twist considering his resistance to play in junior tournaments where he competed against players his own age. Although 2020 has put his unstoppable success on momentary pause, a strong 5-set loss in the opening round of this year's US Open, overcoming the mental strength shown by level-headed Frenchman Benoit Paire, and a huge win against 6th-ranked Stefanos Tsitsipas in Rome, who he had lost to handily at the same event just 1 year earlier, exemplifies how Jannik's progress is showing no signs of slowing down. Even when it seems more than unlikely, Jannik Sinner's remarkably late start in tennis shows how with the right amount of dedication to your craft, anyone has the potential to achieve their dreams.